Okay, first off, I apologize for doing the video outside because of all the dogs barking and the birds chirping, but I wanted to kind of give an idea of what it would sound like with and without the wind noise. So without further ado, here we go. So today I'm going to try to add little muffs to this camera. I'm talking about it for a while, getting a lot of wind noise, just want to finally get rid of it. On the RX100 Mark III, I did have a system I put on there. I'm trying something different here on the Mark V. So what I got were these tiny little pre-cut discs from Micover, okay? And they are designed for, it says here, DSLRs, GoPros, DJI, etc. I have an idea to use some 3M double-sided tape, like for hanging pictures and things like that. We kind of use it on the house for different things like that. That we usually hang on the wall and whatnot. I don't know how well it's going to work. What I'm trying to do is make sure there's a nice perimeter around that microphone, so wind's not coming in from the sides around it, which was an issue I had with the system I did for the RX100 Mark III, which was kind of a Velcro system, and I think just the way I taped things, I left some gaps in there to where wind could get in, and I didn't get a lot of wind. It did cut down the wind noise a lot, but I'm going to see if I can cut that even more with this system. So what I'm going to do is try to get a hole through the 3M tape so that the microphone doesn't have any obstructions from it, just on the sides, so where it doesn't get any side wind noise. If it doesn't get any side wind noise, it's just going to have the cover up top for the little muff, and that's going to block a lot of the wind. Okay, so I picked up these Micovers, and I'm going to go ahead and take them out of the package here. Again, they're for DSLRs, GoPros, things like that. Right now I'm going to use it with the RX100 Mark V to block a lot of the wind noise I've been getting in my vlogs. Okay, so need to get some left-handed scissors because I'm having trouble with these. Yeah, go ahead and switch to the right hand and open this package up. All right. All right, here are the actual wind screens, and so they give us a sticker here and a business card, I guess, with has the warranty on the back here for these particular windscreens. And we've got another business card, and it is the instructions for how to put the windscreens on your particular device. Okay. These are the adhesive that comes with it that I'll be using, but instead I'm going to be using the Scotch adhesive to attempt to put these windscreens on the RX100 Mark V. So let's go ahead and take a look at one of these windscreens. Take it out of the package here. It's well, it's nice and fluffy. It seems to be only angled in one direction. It's lightweight material. Let's do a little bit of a kind of a test fitting here. I'm going to try to cover these two little holes here on top, which are the microphones for the RX100 Mark V, and I'm going to try to make a hole in the 3M tape to allow air to get in there, the sound to get in there from the top, going through the windscreen. Oh, it looks like, okay, hold on. It looks like there's no back to this tape. It's just sticky on one side and a backing on the other, protective backing. Let's see, let's just cut a little piece off here to experiment with. Okay. We cut like a little section here off that I can work with, and just do a little bit of testing here to see how what the best process would be to be making the hole in this tape. Let me do like just a visual measurement here to see how big I need to make the hole in this particular piece of 3M tape. and not to go outside the boundaries or anything like that. So I think I'm gonna just cut a little piece just like this to fit over there. And I need to get some left-handed scissors, that's for sure. Let's cut this piece, trim a little bit off here. And I think that this tape not having a backing is going to be a problem, but we will cross that bridge when we get there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and attempt to make some type of hole in this tape to allow the microphones to be unobstructed. And this X-Acto knife is not the tool I think I want to use for this. It's kind of hard cutting through here. The material is very spongy, so let's try this. I have this the soldering iron that I use for things like this. It's not like it's not a soldering iron I use to solder anymore. The tip had bent on it, and now I use it for things like this. If I need to burn like a little hole through a piece of plastic or seal up the end of a rope or something like that, I use the soldering iron, just heat it up. So let's I've not really attempted this. So let's see if I can just kind of do a little test burn here on this tape and see if I can get something close to what I'm trying to get on the final product. Okay, it seems to be burning through there quite nicely. It's not going through the tape on the back, which is nice. So I'm just going to kind of work it in a circular motion, kind of here, a small circular motion to see if I can burn a hole through there. And it appears to be successful. I think this is going to be the way to go for this. Let me clamp one of these smaller pieces here. I don't want to burn my hands. And see how well this is going to work out. Okay, so again, I'm going to kind of do a little circular pattern here on the tape itself, kind of melting through it, spreading it apart to make sure that there's enough room in there for the microphone to be unobstructed. Pick off some of the little the burnt pieces. They get a little hard, and kind of pick them off a little bit and clear that space out for the microphone. Okay, let's see here. Let's go ahead and place this little bit of sticky tape here on top of the microphone hole, and we'll see. Get this backing off. Having a little bit of trouble with it. Okay, let's see. Right. There we go. Okay, let's put it over this hole on the right hand side here. Pick out some little pieces that didn't come out with the X-Acto knife. There we go. Okay, let's just place this on top. Spread it apart a little bit there. Kind of stretch the tape out, make that hole a little bit bigger. And stick it down there. See, I feel like this tape has lost a lot of its tackiness on the top where I've been having to touch it because there's no protective backing. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and speed this part up. I'll just do a little trim here and go around the power button, burning the hole again, and let's take it off and take the backing off and stick it on the camera. Okay, again, just had to cut that little corner piece off so it didn't overlap the power button. I'm just kind of repositioning it, making sure that everything is unobstructed. There we go. Pick some of these little extra pieces out. Now let's see if we can cut this little disc to size and make them smaller. Let's see. Yeah, the felt started coming apart at this point, and it was no good. I destroyed this one little test muff. It just kind of fell apart, and yeah, it just turned into garbage. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and just do here at this point, I decided to just use a whole disc instead of the piece. Okay, give it a nice push down there. Try to get a nice solid. Give it a nice solid tack. But like I said, I think that the stickiness is just going to be too much. It's just it's too gone. It's from touching it the whole time, trying to get the hole through and repositioning it. I think that the fact that this tape didn't have a backing just ruined it. So we're going to try to use the adhesive that it came with. So go figure. Ended up using it after all. So I'm just going to kind of just get a visual where I want these to lay down. Okay, so I read the instructions, and what you want to do is you want to put these discs, these sticky discs, on the wind muff first. I've seen people do it on YouTube, and they put them on the camera and then try to put the disc on. Let's put the disc on the windscreen first. It makes it so much easier. I couldn't imagine. I didn't try it the other way, but I couldn't imagine trying to put it on the camera first. That would just seem like it'd be a mess. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and go with let's see, again, this camera right side here, so it's less obstruction. I'm not really worried about blocking the viewfinder or the pop-up flash. I don't use them very much anyway, so that's not going to be an issue. Kind of wanted to overlap over the edge and around to give it a nice, good seal around the microphone. Give it a nice firm push here. Yeah, let's see. It's pretty sticky. It's holding a lot better than I thought it was. It's holding better than that 3M tape, that's for sure. All right, let's go ahead and do the same thing on the left side. Again, make sure you put the sticky back on the windscreen first, and then the windscreen onto the camera. And there you go. It looks good. Got a little pair of fluffy twins there on top of my camera. All right, let's hope this alleviates some of the wind noise that we've been getting in the vlogs. Feels pretty sturdy, like it's going to be there. It's going to stick. I don't know how it's going to last coming in out of my pocket, but I guess we'll see as time goes on. All right. Okay, so we're done with the install, and the muffs are on the camera. That's what you're hearing right now. I am outdoors. There's some birds and stuff, so you're going to hear that. But it is a tad windy, so it's not crazy wind, but normally I would hear a little gust here and there in my recording. So if you don't hear anything on this recording, looks like we won, and these things are going to be a hit. So during the install process, you probably saw that the 3M tape idea just did not work. I think it might have to be with just the 3M tape that I bought, because the 3M tape I bought didn't have the adhesive on both sides. So if you get the pre-cut squares, it has adhesive on both sides. I thought it would be the same type of tape that would just unroll and I could cut, and I would have, the protector on both sides, so I'm not touching the sticky back the whole time. But unfortunately, this tape that I picked up actually doesn't have a cover for the sticky back for one side of it. So one side has a cover and the other side doesn't. So when you peel it off, it uses the top of the under layer as a sticky back for it to keep it protected, while it's rolled up. But once you unveil that sticky back and it starts to get touched by your fingers and get a lot of oil and on the sticky, and it just didn't work. I think that's what happens. My only concern would be that putting this in and out of my pocket, which is kind of how I carry the camera, might put a little unnecessary wear and tear on the sticky material that these are attached with. It's super thin layer of some type of sticky material, and I don't know how well it's going to hold up from coming in and out of a pocket over the period of a month, a couple months. I'm not sure how long this is going to last, so that would be my only concern with this. particular product. If push comes to shove and I don't like this system and we're gonna have to get rid of this one, if the stickies aren't working, I think I'm gonna go back to the Velcro system I had, because with the Velcro system, it was pretty easy. All I did was kind of cut little pieces of Velcro tape on one side and stick it onto around the microphones, and I can make some custom shape and whatnot. And then I stick my the fluffy, the soft side of the Velcro. I stuck that tape portion onto the back of the windscreen material, and I stuck that onto the camera, and it worked really, really well, because I could take it off if I really needed to, and I still had the ability to use the flash and the iron piece if I needed it. I could take it on and off, and it was pretty nice. The reason I didn't go with this, because I've seen a lot of people use these little circles. I just wanted to try them out and see how well they worked, and if they were, maybe they reduced the noise better than the system I had, which would be nice, right? It's a good benefit. I look forward to not hearing as much wind noise in my vlogs. All right, everybody, out.